All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We got a road video here today as we are in a hotel. Tomorrow's video will also be a road video, so it's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to go through each and every game on the slate like we normally do. I have 3 plays in the MLB today that we're going to dive into, so those are going to be the only 3 plays in the video. We might add some if we come up with some in the pinned comments, so still keep an eye on that, but yeah. These are going to be the final plays as of right now. So hopefully you guys don't mind that. Yeah, that's what we do when we're on the road. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, play number 1 here. Let's see if we can pop it up on our screen. We'll have the plays listed on the screen as well. We're looking at the Reds' first 5 money line. The most juiced play we have here for sure on the board at minus 150. You can get it for better odds on the first 5 run line, so minus 0.5 runs in the first 5 for like minus 120 or so. So if you want to risk it a little bit more, I still don't mind it. I like it on the money line here with that push potential, just because we have seen some sort of inconsistent play from the Reds. But overall, I do think this is a bounce back spot for them after taking a couple bad L's against Milwaukee there. In terms of their last couple games, Milwaukee beat them, was it 7-2 and then 9-5? Like, they just got kind of their doors blown in. That 9-5 game, sure, you can make the argument that they kept that game close. But even still, does 9-5 seem close? Not really. Even that 10-run game that they had in game number 1 of that series, didn't they? I think they scored like 5 runs in 1 inning. So you strip out that inning, and they're not looking all that great. So they didn't have the best Milwaukee series. But now they face the White Sox in a 3-game series. Yes, they are on the road, but this is a White Sox team that I wouldn't really say is all that great. Chris Flexen on the mound today as well. Not necessarily a guy that I would love to back. Andrew Abbott on the mound for the Reds is a guy that I would back. He has a 3.48 ERA, 1.3 whip, not that great, but 1.3 whip to start the year. Striking out a decent amount of guys, whereas Flexen, 5.91 ERA to start the year, a 1.6 whip, a 4.9 FIP, striking out barely anybody, 10% K rate through the year here. And when you look at it from a batting perspective, Cincinnati kind of mediocre to start the year against right-handed pitchers, but they are, which is a good thing, are slugging against them, and their isolated power looks good as well. So if they could put up a couple big innings here in the first 5 against Flexen, I don't think the White Sox have the offensive power to be able to combat with that. So Cincinnati against right-handed pitchers, 4th in ISO, 6th in slugging against right-handed pitchers. And if I just read off some of these stats, you'll see why we like the Cincinnati offense, even though they've been meh against righty pitchers, because Chicago has been a lot worse against righty pitchers here. 24th in average, 26th in WRC plus, the worst strikeout team. So Andrew Abbott could have a field day with strikeouts. He hasn't, been a guy that I like to back strikeout wise. I feel like his line's always a little too high. 4th worst walk percentage, 5th worst on base percentage, 5th worst OPS. Their best stat is ranking 20th in isolated power and 6th worst in slugging. So definitely not really a Chicago team that one is hitting overall well, but definitely not when it comes to left-handed pitchers, which Andrew Abbott is a lefty here. So yeah, give me the first 5 here on the money line for the Reds. That is going to be play number 1 here. Play number 2. It's a player prop, so I have a money line play, a player prop, and then we have a nerfy for the end of the video. No runs in the first inning, so that'll be good. But play number 2 here. This is going to be one where I can see a lot of people fading it because the dude's been on fire. I think in his last 3 games, he's had 3 bases, and maybe 2 bases, something like that, right? But we're looking at Gunnar Henderson, Baltimore Oriole here, taking his under 1.5 bases. This is like minus 140, minus 150 on most books. I'd play it up to like minus 140-ish, not really beyond that, but we're getting a great price over on Fanatics at minus 120, so definitely some serious value there. And to be completely honest, yes, I'm fading Gunnar Henderson, but I'm more so backing the pitcher that he's going up against here, Freddie Peralta. So Freddie Peralta has looked good to start the year, obviously, but he's a righty, and he throws a ton of fastballs. And with sort of the end of last year and this year to start for Gunnar Henderson, going up against a righty fastball thrower that throws heat has been kind of a tough spot for him. So against the righty fastball, he's batting 143 to start the year, an expected average today of 169, and due to those numbers and sort of the matchup that he has, I expect some regression here. Like, let's get Gunnar Henderson to come back down to earth. I've always said Gunnar Henderson is an electric name, but let's not be electric on the bases today. I like his under 1.5 bases. Again, I could see a lot of people fading this because the dude's been on fire. Baltimore's offense started to cook up, to some degree there where, in their previous series, this is against the Red Sox, but in their previous series, people are starting to say that offense wasn't looking all that great or anything like that. But there we go, Gunnar Henderson, under 1.5 1.5 bases. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment 5 because you made it 5 minutes into the video. I know these videos are a little bit different on the road. We don't have our normal setup. We do have this little handy dandy microphone. Hopefully it sounds okay as I pick it up and probably mess everything up. We got our webcam in a hotel room with some weird decor, whatever that is. But nonetheless, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment 5 if you've made it this far into the video. All right, let's jump into play number 3. It is a nerfy. People ask what a nerfy is. It just means no runs in the first inning. There's nerfy and then there's yerfy. You can take either one, right? Yes, there'll be runs scored in the first inning. No, there won't be any runs scored in the first inning. And I'm looking at this Royals-Mets game here, and I'm saying no runs are going to be scored in this first inning. Plus 100 odds I do like as well. You can get that on BetMGM. It's actually minus 115 on DraftKings, minus 113 on FanDuel, and minus 120 on Caesar. So a little bit of value getting this at plus money too. The only book out there doing it. But why do I like this play? So Waka is 2-0 to start the year on the nerfy side of things. And I like his spot against who we should see towards the beginning of this lineup, obviously. Not a confirmed lineup, but as we know right now, we'll probably see, Nimmo, Marte, and Lindor, who all of those guys, if we use last year's numbers as a reference, all of their numbers drop against right-handed pitchers from an average perspective, and all of their K rates, so the percent of time that they strike out, jumps up over 20%. So if he can sit some of those guys down, I do think that we have a good chance here. And again, he's 2-0 to the nerfy this season, so we do like to see that. He's faced Baltimore, so I'll give him credit for that one, and then the White Sox. So the White Sox is where I'm like, yeah, like you could take a nerfy for the whole game type of thing. So hopefully that isn't a kiss of death there. But then we flash over to Luis Severino, who is going to be the one that I'm a little bit more, worried about in this spot. He's 1-1 to the nerfy this year, 3 innings allowed to Milwaukee in his first start of the season. But Milwaukee's offense is on fire and has been kind of on fire even to start the year. So I'm hoping that the Royals offense, as I say that, we realize that the Royals offense is absolutely tearing it up too right now, but just kind of hoping that he can hold them off for one inning here, who cares what happens the rest of the game, right? Maybe you guys have bets on it, but for this one, we're just looking at the first inning. So I do think we have a really good edge on the Michael Wacha side of things, giving us obviously 3 outs that we should be able to get these 3 outs. Kind of have to sweat out the New York side of things, but as I say that, New York and Severino are probably going to look really good to start the year, and then start the game, and then all of a sudden Michael Wacha is going to look terrible. But nonetheless, guys, those are going to be our 3 plays for today's video. Obviously, it is a little bit different. Hopefully, you guys don't mind. I know I've said that a million times here, but yeah. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, check out the NBA video. It'll be a similar sort of road video here. We're getting that up shortly after this. So go check that out, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.